Hello everyone. I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of a walking stick that I've been working on. Now, I used to have the walking stick already completed and everything, um, and I've used it uh, for hiking, and it works great. And pretty much what it is, it's a telescoping pole. It's a telescoping pole, and I cut the top, and then I cut the bottom, and then I put a PVC cap at both the top and the bottom, and then I wrapped that shaft with Gorilla duct tape, black duct tape, and initially what I had created this for is a while back I had two like military style tarps, and I created a teepee tent out of them. And in order for it to work as a teepee, I needed a center pole, and I wanted something where I could use it as a hiking stick, but also use it as a center pole. And if you guys bear with me, okay, sorry about that. So this, I'm gonna use my feet. Comes out to a certain length, and for some reason I used to have them marked, but it looks like the markings are no longer there. I used to have them marked like 6 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, so on and so forth. I think the tallest I had it was 8 feet with the telescoping all the way out. So it worked great, center pole. So then recently we went hiking for a Christmas or a church camping trip, and I used this for hiking. I used it to get off the ground because I didn't have a cot. I had a sleeping pad, but you just you grab it and then you push yourself up. This thing came in handy a lot. So after that camping trip a few months ago, I realized how great the walking stick was and how useful it is. So then later on, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I saw a video of this guy having a spear, and there was this wild boar coming towards the guy, and the guy stabbed the wild boar with a spear. And in my thought, I thought, wow, that's a pretty good idea. I can actually turn this into a spear if I wanted to. And again, sorry, this might be a little bit longer video than I thought, but it's going to be worth it. So I took the caps off, and I had to use a saw to cut them off. Cleaned them up, cleaned up the bits, because I used like a bunch of different types of glues to get those things on there. So then I was online looking for a spear, and I know that there's a knife that's hollow on the handle, and you can stick a stick in there and make it a spear. There's different types of spears out there. I know Cold Steel makes the most of them, and some of them look like a leaf type spear. And I didn't want anything like that. I wanted something very low profile, very low, very, very discreet. So we'll go over here, and what I got here is a Cold Steel Lance spear. Now I got a really good deal on this. I got this off Amazon for I think $20. It was initially when I was looking for it, nobody had them. You can get these online, nowhere. And I mean, and I'm not joking. Like, you cannot get this at all. And I went to Amazon again looking for them, see if they had them back in stock, and they only had one. So I clicked on it, and it was a used product, but it was sold by Amazon. So if there was something wrong with it, I could turn it back to Amazon and say, hey, give my money back. So it was a good buy. There was nothing wrong. I think the only thing wrong was that the walking stick had like some scratch in it, but I wanted this. I didn't want the walking stick. So you guys can see it's hollow. Maybe. It's got this screw right there, and it goes all the way through, and it's a nice pointy type spear. I don't know how it's going to come out on video. Let's see, there we go. It's sharp here on all the edges. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Hopefully it comes out good on camera. It's got some sort of like oily residue. I don't know what that is from, but I gotta clean it. So anyways, so I got that, and then on the walking stick, I wanted to be able to mount it, and I guess I can show you guys. I'm gonna need both hands for this, so give me a second. Maybe not. So this goes in here pretty decent, I want to say. Okay, it's got some play. So what I want to do is I want to get a rod and stick it like in this pole, and then the rod would go in on the spear, and I want to get like a flat type screw with a wing nut on the other end, so I can use this, so I can easily take this off if I wanted to. So if this thing broke, then I can take it off and mount this onto like a stick. So hopefully you guys can see that. So there it is. So then the next thing was, how do I cover that? Like, how do I cover the spear without it actually looking like a spear or a weapon? So I went to Etsy, the website Etsy, and that's where people who make products, they sell them online. So if you make, leather wallets, or if you make a PVC bow, stuff like that, you can go in there and sell it. So I found this lady who sells an 11.5-inch 11.5-inch leather sheath for drumsticks, and the whole spear itself, top to bottom, I believe is 16 inches. Let me double check. I knew I measured it. So yes, it's 16 and a half, or 16 inches from the very tip to the very bottom of the spear. So the whole thing is 16 inches. So that would work great. It's 11.5 inches. All I need the sheath to do is to cover the spear, so it doesn't look like it's a spear. And I will see if I can find the seller for that leather sheath. Give me a second. There it is. So this is the, let me move my stuff. So this is the sheath. And yeah, I'm watching Bob's Burgers. That's my favorite show. But that's a leather sheath, and again, it's 11.5 inches. It's leather, so that's gonna cover the spear. Okay, so then now I needed to finish the walking stick. So I was thinking, well, what else can I do, because the thing is hollow to a point, and maybe I can stick a water filter. So I have a Sawyer water filter, a mini Sawyer water filter. I also have the regular Sawyer one, but the mini, I figured, man, that thing can probably fit in there, and it does not. So what I did here is I went to Home Depot and I bought this, and I bought this, and I was gonna eventually use this one. I think it was this one, because the bottom of that fits in this hole, and then this has, I don't know if you guys can see it, has a little stopper So then the only thing else I would need is the male adapter to hook up to that, which would have been this one, like so. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. So anyways, you guys get the point. So here, I'm just gonna do it because if I don't, it's gonna mess me up. Anyways, I dropped it. So they didn't have the female adapter. I don't know. I can't remember what I was gonna do. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. So I was gonna the whole of this fit at the bottom of that. So then I couldn't find a female adapter. Focus. A female adapter that would hook up to this, that would be hollow like this, so that I can put stuff in there. So I went to Ace Hardware this morning, and I thought I had picked the right female, but apparently I did not, which I guess it turned out to be good. So I'll show you guys. Let me take the spear out, that way I don't drop it on myself. And then I'll put this over here. So then at the bottom, so I found this adapter. It's a 2-inch, I believe, adapter. And that's actually a wine corkscrew, and I'll show you guys why I use that for. I'm going to use my mouth. Okay. So then, how I use this is the stick. Okay, I'm going to have to use my hands to take this off. Maybe I can put the stick here. Okay, sorry. I have to use my headphones to hold it. Okay, so that is the bottom of the walking stick. So this goes in there, and I needed a female adapter to hook up to this, where it's going to be hollow, and I can kind of like this. It was going to be hollow, where I can put stuff in there, and then at the bottom of this I would put a cap to make it a walking stick. So anyways, that didn't work, so I went to Home Depot or Ace Hardware, and I found this. This is a 2-inch, I think. Or is an 1.5 inches. It's an 1.5 inches by 3/4. You guys can see. So this didn't really fit in there. So if you guys can see, I started screwing this now. That doesn't have any threads. This does on the inside. Okay, so I started screwing it to get it in there. And as you guys can see, the threads started being all squash. There's like some threads at the very end, but all of those are now flat. That's how they're supposed to look. Okay, and that's how they actually look. So I'll give you guys a view of the inside. Okay, so now did I want that? Absolutely. Okay, so now I can stick this in there. Okay, focus. And if you guys look at the inside, see that little, like, that right there? That's like a stopper kind of thing. That, where my fingernail is. So that is gonna, once I get this thing all the way screwed in there, that's what's gonna stop that, the round part to sit on that edge right there. So then once I get all the threads like messed up on this thing, I can just stick this in there, and then what I do is you take this, which is a let's see, this is a 1.5 inches, I don't know what you want to call it, a plug, cup, whatever. So this actually screws into this. Okay, again, I'm gonna put my phone down for a quick second. so I can get this thing screwed in there and show you guys. Okay, so once I get the threads messed up here, I can just stick this in that. There's a little edge right there, or ledge, that will stop this from like going all the way through. So then I stick this PVC cup, and then I screw it in, and then I can put stuff in here. But in order to plug up that hole, we, like our wine, you take, and this fits perfectly, you take that, and eventually I'm going to have to cut it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some Flex Flex Seal spray. Spray this to give it a little bit more, like a more thickness on this thing, so that it makes a perfect seal. Because right now, it's like it goes in there, like right there. And if I can give it a little bit more thickness around it, then it'll make a perfect seal. So you guys can, there. Okay. So then what that's going to do is that's going to prevent from the inner pole, the telescoping pole that's inside of that. So think of this, there's another pole inside that makes the other pole come out. Telescoping pole. So then that would prevent the inner pole from going in all the way, and it'll stop like around here. So then once I get that done, I got these PVC pipes. So you guys can see these are 2 inches, okay, and these somewhat fit in here, like almost, I mean barely, like just by a few like centimeters. So what I'm gonna do is either I'm gonna take a filer and start filing the inside just a little bit to where I'm at least 1 to 2 inches deep, so that I can get some of this PVC cement, or whatever you call it, purple primer. Put some in there, and then once I get that, I'm gonna stick this in here, and it's gonna sit in there. And then what I'm pretty much gonna have, if I can show you guys, oops, caught it. What I'm gonna have is like a PVC tube, pretty much. And again, at the very tip of this, I'm just gonna put a cup plug, and it just looks like I don't have one in front of me, but it just looks like a plug that's gonna sit there. So then I'm gonna have one hollow compartment on my walking stick. So then because this is gonna be glued to this, I can unscrew this. Maybe it's kind of hard to do with one hand. So I can unscrew that, and it's gonna be like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna have access to it from here. And then what I'm gonna be able to do is put a survival kit, anything I want in this pipe. So I took the diameter of the Sawyer Mini, and it's 1.5 inches. So for it to fit an 1.5-inch pipe, it was like very barely gonna make it, because the syringe that comes with it to clean the Sawyer Mini is about close to 2 inches. So here again, this is 10 inches, this one's 12 inches. So what I did is I went to Ace and I got 2 PVC pipes, 110, 112, because I wasn't sure how long I needed it, but I knew I didn't want it over 12 inches. So inside of here I have this wrench, which if you guys look, it's almost 2 inches, almost, and you need that to clean your Sawyer Mini. So then I got that in there, okay, and then on this I have the Sawyer Mini, the little straw, and then the plastic drinking bag. which I can take out. You just push it, and you can use like it's 12 inches, so you can actually take this out no problem. So see, all I did is stuck my fingers in there, and it comes out at the other end. So then, and it's got some PVC stuff in there, so I gotta clean it. I gotta clean all of this actually. Hopefully my wife doesn't think I'm making a huge mess, even though I am. So anyways, there's your Sawyer Mini. I got a hair tie. Let me take that off. I got a hair tie holding it together. I threw the instructions in there, just, you know, just sort of, why not? And here you have your Sawyer Mini, and you have your little straw, and you have your water filter, and you have your squeeze bag. So all of this will fit inside this 12-inch. Now if I want to save room, I can get rid of the instructions, or I can put the instructions and the little straw inside of this, giving me extra space to put in like a fire starter, fire rod, maybe some of the wet tinder, wet fire, just stuff like that. So anyways, I think that's about it. And then I got some plumber's tape, which I'm gonna use to thread this to this, so I can make it a nice watertight seal. And so this is all gonna be watertight, so there's no water going in or out. And so that's it, guys. I think that pretty much covers my idea. Oh, and then the other thing is, yeah, that thing fell off, which is no big deal. I got a Flex Seal spray, and it's black. And eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the whole walking stick with the PVC pipe a camo color. Once it gets warmer, I'm going to get sticks and some leaves and stuff, and I'm gonna spray paint the whole thing with Flex Seal with a camo pattern. I just need brown and I need green, so I can make my camo walking stick.